HFK presents 5 Minutes of History. I'm your host, Terry Lynch, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. And speaking of Thanksgiving, you know the very first Thanksgiving was way back in 1621. It was by the Plymouth Pilgrims, led by Governor Bradford, who invited the chief of the Algonquin Indians, Chief Massasoit, also known as Yellowfeather. He invited them to celebrate the harvest and thank them for helping them harvest their food the season before. They all sat down to have a wonderful meal. It went on for 3 days. Some of the food on their menu, well, they didn't have a lot of the cranberries and pumpkin pie like us, but they did have turkey, along with cod and bass, and my favorite of all, eel. You know, the Braves ate so much food that the chief was worried they'd run out of food, and you know what he did? Sent them out to hunt down some deer. They brought back 5 bucks, or 5 deer, to have some venison along with the rest of the meal. The most unusual thing about that first Thanksgiving was the fact that the 5 women who had survived the season with the Pilgrims didn't sit down and eat with the rest of the family. No, the women actually served the men. This was amazing to Massasoit because he had brought women with him, but they sat right alongside the men. See, those savage natives were far more civilized than the Plymouth Pilgrims, who consider themselves civilized, because the Algonquin Indians were already moving for women's rights. They treated women equally as men because they knew they were important to the tribe and the survival of their nation. Well, so much for civilization, huh? The Pilgrims made those women, 5 of them, do all the dishes and all the serving for 3 days. Sounds a lot like Thanksgiving these days, doesn't it? Oh, you know what? It's time for trivia. And today's trivia has to do with Thanksgiving. What are the odds? Well, actually, the question is, when did it become a national holiday? Well, some people thought it was a national holiday even before we were a country, right around the time of the Plymouth Pilgrims, but it wasn't. It didn't become a formal national holiday until 1863, when Abraham Lincoln made a national holiday of giving thanks. When we started as a country, they had a day that they celebrated each year around the end of November, beginning of December, known as our Forefathers' Day. That was established by George Washington. But it wasn't until Honest Abe made it a national holiday that we started calling it Thanksgiving Day. And that was back in 1863. Well, we are just about out of time, and I'm sure you're getting ready to finish cooking up that bird. You know, it makes me think of one other thing. When you sit down and you say thanks and give thanks for all the good and the plenty that you have on your table, give thanks for one other thing. It's a bonus trivia. Give thanks that Benjamin Franklin didn't succeed at the Constitutional Convention. Because you know what he wanted the national bird to be? Not the bald eagle. He wanted the turkey as the national bird. Had he succeeded, you know what would have happened? You'd be sitting down a bald eagle. And I hear that's a rather gamey bird. Oh, all right, it's a bad pun, but it's Thanksgiving. Give me a break. After Thanksgiving, you know what comes around the corner? Christmas, as if we haven't already been seeing celebrations for Christmas and commercials. Well, guess what? You can also celebrate Christmas with us. It's called Nicholas Comes to America, the story of Santa Claus, written based on our show, The Legend of St. Nicholas. It's available on our website along with Amazon.com. And while you're on our website, you can do some other things, like send us a question to ask us about the Christmas celebration. We talk about it here in the book, about St. Nicholas himself and how St. Nicholas and Santa Claus are one and the same, and the symbols and celebrations and traditions that have gone around the world. It's a great stocking stuffer and just a keepsake for yourself. If you don't have the opportunity to come see me do the Legend of St. Nicholas, you can have me anyway by purchasing this book. So stop by our website or go to Amazon.com. And if you want this book, don't forget, we still have this one as well. Mistakes Happen, a historical guide to overcoming adversity. My goodness sakes alive. I'm an actor, and it looks like I'm turning into an author as well. Well, I'm going to tell you goodbye for now. And I want to thank you for spending a little bit of your Thanksgiving with us. Over the next couple of weeks, look for little episodes of celebrating Christmas as we make our way up to that great holiday that everyone loves to celebrate. For now, it's Terry Lynch, your host of HFK Presents, saying, watch out. History happens when you least expect it.